been surprised that he's spoken so highly about me, and it brings a lot of humility as a result. He is one person who's receptive to new ideas, encourages out-of-the-box thinking, and I've experienced this in the 4 months that I worked with him. I would also like to thank Mr. Shakti Sinha, the director, who was my director education 25 years ago when I was his additional director. Again, a man who pushes new ideas, and he's revolutionized this place which used to have a function once in 3 months. You have almost a book launch or a good speech almost every day now. Dadoo is an old friend. We worked together 35 years ago in associated cement companies in Mumbai, and he again is one person who pushes new ideas very vigorously. Senior advocate Parag Tripathi, I think, is one of the most outstanding, creative, thinking advocates that I've ever met. One who delivers results in spite of great odds. I had the occasion to work with him for a Lakshadweep case, and I must tell you, in the most difficult circumstances, he got us out of it. So, thanks to Parag, I have another important, illustrious member on the panel. Mr. Professor Pant and I shared the board of IAFT. He's now the director of IAFT. Again, a great individual, a great economist, and is taking IAFT to new heights. So with this kind of a great panel, I can assure you, you'll have a great evening. Now let me just dwell a little on the book, because some people want to know why I wrote this book and what does it contain. Basically, it is an essence of my 35 years of service in the government. It covers all sectors of the economy, and it reflects my experience of working in 5 different union territories and 2 very long stints in the Government of India in the Ministry of Defence and Commerce. The predominance of the issues that you will see in the book are from my last 7 years in Commerce and Textiles. And since Commerce has links with all ministries, because each ministry has either an import and an export angle, you will find the range of subjects is very expansive. I was also fortunate, as one of the 10 joint secretaries in the Ministry of Commerce, to have worked as a link officer for the remaining 9, and therefore my familiarity with all products and all services and all territories with respect to foreign trade is acute, and therefore you find 9 ideas out of 100 on foreign trade. I was also IAS and FE, Commerce and Textiles, and a few other ministries over a period of 3 years, and therefore you find 12 ideas on finance and 11 on infrastructure. I am passionate about disruptive technologies, and therefore you'll see some very 9 bright ideas on new scientific discoveries. Then moving on to commerce. Commerce deals with retail. There are 5 ideas on retail, 5 ideas on ease of doing business, a similar number on agriculture and India's global role. We move on to almost every sector then. There are ideas on education and health, telecom and energy, railways, civil aviation, tourism. Secretary Tourism is here. I think she was my boss. If she's still here, I'll be very happy that she hears what I've written. There are ideas on rural development, environment, women, sports, food, housing, media and entertainment, and also on litigation. So the book therefore covers almost every sector of the economy. The USP of the book is that each idea takes only a page and a half. So you can go to the content, select the idea that you like and read. And this, I think, will enable people to read the book in a better fashion. How do I see these 100 ideas? I'll group them into 3 categories. Some ideas are brand new, and I think will add tremendous value to society in general. There's an idea on glasses for the blind. There's an idea on customized shoes. There's an idea about which I'll speak a little more in detail about temple gold monetization. There's an idea on lab-grown diamonds. Many of you may not know that today we can create diamonds in the laboratory, which you cannot distinguish from the natural diamonds. There is an idea on public land inventory. The second group, I would say, are those ideas which have far-reaching consequences. For example, the use of sovereign wealth funds to create infrastructure. I discussed this idea with Secretary Economic Affairs, who's my batchmate, and he said, Dadoo, we are trying to implement all that you've written there. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction. There's one idea on facial recognition technology, in which China is the world leader today. Rooftop solar is another idea which I'll speak a little more in the next couple of minutes. The impact of 5G, how 5G will impact our lives is discussed here. And a wonderful experiment in Odisha on cross-subsidy in education, where 25,000 students are charged normal fees, and profits out of those 25,000 students' fees is used to give free education to another 25,000 people. I think an amazing experiment. You'll read about that in the book. Then there's still some other ideas which, if adopted in the country, will have serious positive consequences. These are on Global Happiness Index, City Livability Index, and Global Consumer Confidence Index. Now, as I mentioned, I'll discuss only two ideas here today because of want of time. These two ideas I had occasion to speak before the Honorable Prime Minister also, when he had gathered all additional secretaries and joint secretaries about 15 months ago for brainstorm. The first idea is on temple gold monetization. Now, those of you who are not familiar, India imports 600 tons of raw gold every year, spending about $30 billion in foreign exchange. $30 billion is a huge amount of money. It is almost 10% of the import bill of the country is used in import of gold. At the same time, we have 100 temples in this country which over centuries have accumulated 10,000 tons of gold as a stock. It's lying as a stock without any value attached to it in terms of its operationability. The annual donation of many of these 100 temples is about 100 crores, and 10% of that comes every year in terms of gold or silver. This gold is lying either in the temple vaults, like you have this famous Thiruvananthapuram Padmanabha temple, where 50,000 crores of wealth is lying there, or it is lying in bank vaults without any consequential economic benefit to the country. So what I am proposing is a 4-member high-powered committee chaired by a additional secretary or secretary Ministry of Finance, with members from SEBI, RBI and SBI, talking to each of these 100 temple trusts and convincing them to part with only 5 tons of gold every year. So if 100 temples part with 5 tons of gold every year, you'll have 500 tons of raw gold available within the country from the country's stock, which can then be converted into a flow. Imagine we would be saving nearly $25 to $30 billion every year every year. The only challenge would be that the income tax authorities cannot question the source of this gold, because if it is a temple, we have to take it for granted that this gold is a donation. And if it is treated as a donation, then the challenge of valuing it from any other source for any other tax purposes will go. The second idea, which I again mentioned before the Honorable Prime Minister, and he asked me how operational can it be made, is about rooftop solar. Now, in India today, we have made rooftop solar worth about 850 megawatts only. That means 99.9% of all buildings in this country are still unutilized. The total target for solar production in this country, official target, is 40 gigawatts. Now, if you have to achieve a 40 gigawatt target, you have to have bright ideas, otherwise it's not possible to do this kind of a thing, because land is very expensive. Solar power may be cheap, but land is very expensive, and therefore it's not possible to actualize it. What I'm suggesting is that if all bus stands, railway stations, ports, airports, commercial and office establishments, farmhouses, temples, schools, colleges, universities, Army, Navy, Air Force complexes, if rooftop becomes the mission mode target to create power, then we can achieve this target very easily and very quickly. Why do I say this? An official study has been done for the town of Varanasi, where 676 megawatts of rooftop solar has been estimated as a potential which is viable. Now, if one town can give 676 megawatts, and we have 6,000 block headquarter towns with a population of more than 1 lakh, you can well imagine the total possibility and the total scope of rooftop solar in this country. If we can do this, our entire dependence on thermal power and nuclear power, both of which are not sustainable in terms of environment, can completely go. The long-term costs of solar power have equaled thermal power already, and with new solar panels, this will drop down further. There are two excellent examples in Delhi of rooftop solar. There's JMC College, which I had initiated when my daughter was studying there, and Jamia Millia Islamia, which has also done great work in this. The other great example is Kochi Airport. The entire airport is run on solar energy. Well, these are the two ideas which I wanted to discuss in detail. There's a very distinguished panel. I'm sure you'll benefit from this. I thank all the members of this august audience who've spent their time and effort to come here. I thank all the distinguished panelists who've taken time out and have been delayed beyond their scope of who has opened the entire museum and library for this purpose. All his staff who have helped us a lot, and I'll be failing my duty if I don't thank the publisher of Crossword, Anu, wherever he is, right here, and his staff, who have ensured that the book comes out in full steam and gets circulated all over the 5,000 stores in the country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.